As if the cheap miter gauge wasn't an obvious problem, why else did I make a mistake buying the Dewalt 7485? So a table saw is a big purchase. It was actually my first purchase for woodworking, and as you can see right here, the miter gauge that comes with the Dewalt DWE7485 is essentially a glorified toy. You have to get something like this monster if you're going to make any precision cuts. There's just no way around it. This thing weighs probably 8 pounds compared to the other. Here's the next problem I had. I can only get one blade, 8 1/4, which is very difficult to find. This Diablo blade is typically what I'm stuck using, so I can't use anything high-end, and I go through these blades pretty quick. I did not think ahead when I got this size Dewalt table saw. So it's kind of my fault, I get it, but I am here to tell you guys, if you are looking at getting a table saw, the DWE7485 may not be for you. Who's it for? I'm not really sure, to be honest. Maybe a job site contractor doing some miscellaneous toe kick, quartered around, maybe a mill worker. I would think that would be fine because it is light and it is small. But I also find that it's not powerful enough, especially for cutting hardwoods. So if you're looking to cut hardwoods, you're probably going to have some issues or have to go really, really slow, and you really hear that engine, the 15 amp 5800 RPM motor, you really hear it cranking up. So it's okay on pine softwoods, but even that, I'm starting to notice it's giving it a little bit of trouble, and maybe that's in my head, I'm not sure, but definitely looking to get a new table saw sooner than later. Now, it is inexpensive. I believe I only paid $3.99 or something for this saw, so there's that. At most big box retailers, that's pretty much the going rate, I believe, for this saw still. So it's not bad. It's easy to transport. It's easy to move around, especially in my tiny 10 by 12 workshop when I do cut indoors, which you're about to see that as far as how much room I have to work with for a table saw of any size besides something like this. You can see here this is an older video of my shop, but it's there's not much more to it. So this saw fits okay in here, and I can easily put it in a corner when I'm done. That is a definite plus. But in order to use it to cut any big products, say for instance, if I need to cut plywood 4x8 sheets, not going to probably happen. I can, however, use this Husky desk, which I'm kind of showing you here. What I'm doing is relocating my workstation, covering it up with pieces of leather, kind of my routine. You can see to the right, that is my sewing machine for leatherworking. That's covered because of the amount of dust. Even with a small crappy dust collection system that I do use, it's not near enough for the amount of dust that you get out of a planer for sure, or a miter saw, or even a table saw. Table saw is usually the worst of the bunch. But anyway, I tried, as far as the blades go too, one more thing, I tried to get a smaller kerf so I would have less dust, maybe more precision cuts. And the problem with that was that the through cut knife, or non-through cut knife, riving knife, was not small enough. So it was bigger than the smaller curved blades. So that was a lose-lose there. So I'm still back to these Diablo blades, and that's essentially all I can use, which, again, it does the job, but I would love to be able to get blades that last longer, that I can sharpen. I don't know. And the biggest problem is also power. I'm seeing that this is not near enough power, in my opinion, for hardwood. It will get the job done. It's probably not going to break on me anytime soon, but you have to go pretty slow. You really need a bigger table saw. And my next one will probably be a saw stop and a contractor model, so I can kind of at least move it around a little bit better. But that's the only major reason why I haven't just completely sold this saw off and gotten a different one, because of the constraint to the size of my shop, which maybe I'll add on to it sooner than later. But for now, it does the job. But you can see what I have to do. I have to get this Husky table that adjusts and move it over to slide bigger material over to if needed. This, for instance, is an oven topper that I do a lot of for people, and it takes up a lot of space, so I have to do something like this to have a table to get it thrown out on. But again, I can collapse all this in 10-15 minutes and have room to do leatherworking or whatever else I need to do, editing or photos for photography. So it's pretty cool. But again, it does do the job. I mean, you do have the 2 slots there, so you can put a sled like this crosscut sled here. That's nice. Some job site saws do not have the double miter slot, which is a must in my opinion. As far as the fence goes, I'm starting to think that the fence is not as accurate as I would want. Maybe it's all in my head, but I feel like there's a little bit of give in it or something, because some of my precision cuts do not seem to be where they need to be. So I'm kind of concerned about that. So in closing, the biggest problem I have with this saw is the power, the 8 1/4 saw blade. That is something I would not recommend for anyone. So if you're at least going to get a Dewalt saw, maybe get the 10-inch blade, I believe it is, for the next one. But the 8 1/4 is just very, very difficult to find any kind of blades for. But it does do the job. It's not the best out there by any means, but it's better than some. So hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe leave a comment if you feel the same, or maybe I'm missing something, and maybe there's some tricks or upgrades I can do to this saw to make it better. But for now, I think it is what it is. I will keep it until I can get something a little bit bigger and hopefully more room in the shop. That would be even better. Thanks for watching.